We are now going to add belt loops to our pattern. And when you typically pattern belt loops, you make one long rectangle and then cut those belt loops to measure at a particular dimension before attaching them to your waistline. In this case, though, because we have to simulate them individually, we do have to create 5 individual belt loops. And to do that, we're going to go into our rectangle tool and create a rectangle that is 0.5 inches by 2 inches. This is one belt loop. The 2 inches is a little bit longer than our waistline because we're going to attach the bottom part of our belt loop to the pants and the top part to the waistline. Within Edit Pattern, we're going to now offset the top and bottom line by 1/8 of an inch, 0.125. And this serves 2 purposes. The first is it gives us a segment on which to sew to our pants. And we are also going to add some decorative top stitching. We're going to add bar tacks to those locations. So within our object browser, we're going to select default top stitching. And we're going to add a new top stitch. And we're going to name that bar tack. There is a bar tack option, but first we're going to create an offset of 0. Change that because we want to lay right on top of our line. And in the custom setting, we're instead going to select bar tack. And it's going to give us the dimensions that it wants. I'm going to leave everything as default for bar tack, except change the color to a more typical top stitch color for jeans. Okay, and now that I've defined my bar tack stitching, I can go into Apply Top Stitching and highlight those 2 lines. And then when I look at them, you can see they look like top stitching. Okay. I'm going to save this really quick because my file keeps crashing. I also want to define some top stitching for my side seams, but I'm not going to do that quite yet because, as I mentioned, my computer keeps crashing when I do that one particular thing. And before I go ahead and copy all of these, I do want to add that top stitching so I don't have to do it after the fact. But I'm going to give it one more try. I'm going to do top stitching. I'm going to, as default top stitching, and I'm just going to apply that here and here. I can change that default top stitching now. Let's see if that behaves. I do want to make the stitching a little bit bigger. I want to make it 1/8 of an inch. I want to make the SPI a little bit smaller. And I'm going to have some spacing between my stitches. So 0.001. And then finally, I'm not going to change the text because I think that's what was causing trouble before. So I'm going to leave that for now and maybe go back and change that afterwards. But I'm going to call this single stitch as my top stitch type. I will have a number of different top stitches for this, and a single stitch is one I'll use elsewhere as well at 1/8 of an inch. So I'm going to come back and show you how to mark our waistband and our pants for applying these belt loops.